Hi everybody, Elizabeth here from Petals and Parchment. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today we are on week number 15 for the Reflective Rolodex challenge, where we're focusing on mindfulness and gratitude and our art practices each week. So before we get started, let's go ahead and light our candles and set some nice ambiance for ourselves. That never lights on the first try. Hooray! Now, before we get started, I like to take a moment to kind of relax and release some tension by doing some deep breathing exercises. If you'd like to join me, feel free to do that. Otherwise, you can fast forward the video if you're not interested in this practice. It's just sort of something I like to do each week to sort of relax and let go of anything that might be on my mind or any tension that I'm holding on to in my body. So if you'd like to join me, wonderful. I would love for you to do that. And you'll start, if you're comfortable, by closing your eyes. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Try to let go of any tension that you're holding in your body as you exhale slowly through your mouth. Prepare your heart and mind to have some fun. Maybe you had a particularly stressful week, and that's okay, but let's go ahead and instead bring our awareness to this moment. Try not to be distracted by anything. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. That's all you have to do right now. Place your hand over your heart and think of something to be grateful for. Who have you helped this week? How did you bring a smile to somebody's face? Take another big deep breath in and smile, getting ready to step into our art practice. Exhale, and when you're ready, let's begin. Before we get started with the art portion today, I just wanted to tell you guys about a video that really spoke to me that I watched today. It was from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, and she's in the process of finishing up a gratitude journal that she's making, and then she shared a video that really inspired her about a different way to look at gratitude, where yes, it's not only the 3 things that you're most grateful for from your day, but also how were you able to help someone else? Like, what were you able to contribute in your life? And I just wanted to say a humongous thank you to Barbara for sharing that video that you saw that inspired you while you were creating your own gratitude journal, because it helped me reset kind of my focus for this project and why I started it in the first place. And that is to help other people and help myself throughout the year with mindfulness and gratitude and dedicating some time for self-care through art practice. So thank you so much, Barbara. It was really inspirational to me, and I just wanted to make sure that I pointed everybody to that video. If you haven't seen it, it just came out earlier on Friday, and it was really touching and heartwarming and eye-opening. I'll link that video in the description. Check it out. Let me know what you think about it. It was really profound and helpful perspective for me. So moving forward, I'd like to frame it not just about what I'm grateful for each week, but also trying to look for ways to go about my day bringing a little bit of joy to other people's lives instead of kind of mindlessly moving from one chore to the next next looking for opportunities to be of service to others. And that in turn, I think, will bring about its own set of joy and rewards in my life, because I do love helping others and like being a source of comfort and encouragement to others. So thank you, Barbara, for sharing that. So before we get started on the art portion, I would just like to talk about the journaling prompts. You'll find these in your Google Drive folder if you purchase the kit. I also put them in a special freebie file for YouTube followers, and you can find those below some of the previous videos. So go ahead and look this over and see if any of these journaling prompts resonate with you, and then you can go ahead and take a few minutes if you would like to journal your thoughts about the prompt, or you can pick something that's just been on your mind this week. Also, you don't have to do any journaling prompt if you don't want to. You can skip this entirely, but I've decided to discuss rediscovering play. What childhood games or activities brought me joy, and can I revisit one this week? I really loved to play jacks. Water guns was always a favorite. When I was a kid, I used to make journals, like books, based off of my favorite TV shows, so I definitely will recreate that this week. So yeah, I was just thinking of those things. I could probably play some of those with my daughter this weekend while I'm off of work, so that'll be fun. And then last week we had, if you watched these dies that I created, I printed the freebie 4 to a page to get this size, and then I just wrote on the side of each one. So we did this last week. I showed you those. So you could use these if you feel like, you know, following the weeks in the journaling prompts and just being playful this week. This whole month is centered around creativity and play. So before we get started on what I had in mind, I just wanted to show you some cards that I created for this month for the bonus pages for the people that bought the kit. So last month I sort of did some mindfulness flashcards to sort of give you some mindfulness exercises, and then this month I've included some mindful art practices. So there's some really fun ways that you can dive into art with these cards. I think this week I'm going to focus on play and wild and wacky tools, and so this suggests ditch the brushes and sponges and use unexpected tools like a fork, a credit card, bubble wrap, or even your fingers to apply paint or ink in fun textures. So that's what we're gonna do today. Have a little fun. So I was making lunch for my family this week, and these were actually like tuna fish tins, and I was like, oh, those are a pretty good size. I think I could repurpose those. I saved them after I washed them out, and I'm going to use them today. I've got the card that I'm going to use, which is really pretty, just like rainstorms. April showers bring May flowers. That's sort of where I'm at right now. So I'm working with blues for April showers. So I couldn't find any marbles, these kind of rubbery beads. What I am planning to do then is to roll each of the beads in a different color, blue or white, and then swirl them around in the can on top of my card and just have a little messy time there. And then if I have leftover paint, then I'll probably paint the inside of these cans with it so that it doesn't go to waste, and then maybe I'll use them for holding beads or something. So I'm just picking the colors out of the selection that I grabbed. Whoops, that one went right on the bead. Perfect. So let's see, we've got white, blue, metallic blue, and I'll do a dark blue, ultramarine, or phthalocyanine. So I've got metallic blue, cerulean blue, metallic white, and ultramarine blue. So it looks like my white one is good and messy already. I'm gonna drop that guy in there. Oh, I'm already super messy. Good thing I had this handy. Okay, and then I'm just gonna roll each of the balls in a different color paint and then drop it in on top of my card and hopefully get some cool patterns in a moment. Okay, instead of wiping this on the towel, I'm gonna grab this sheet that I learned from Wendy at Willa Wanders. She said just keep like a backing sheet handy, and then anytime you have like an extra ink on your stamp or any paint on your fingers or any paint on your brush, you just smush it on here, and after like 3 or 4 weeks of doing that, you're gonna get some pretty cool background paper. And she's offered this free class. It's really incredible. And so for one of my last projects, I needed some like lime green stencil paste, and I had a little bit left over, so I just smudged that on here. And then I was trying to get my paint pen to work, and I put that on here, and so I'm really already liking how it's turning out. So I forgot I had this going, so I'm just gonna keep it handy, and then if I get more paint on my fingers, I'm just gonna put it somewhere on here. And you could actually do it on either side of the paper so that you have double-sided paper. So I just wanted to show you that amazing idea from Wendy at Willa Wanders. So I'm just gonna dump this last ball in there and then simply swirl it around. Oh no, I got a little bit aggressive with that. Oh, okay, smudge it off. It got on my wall, you guys. I gotta wipe it off my wall. Okay, I was having way too much fun and one of the balls went flying. This is really fun though. Okay, so actually I already went a little bit further than I intended to, but that's okay. It looks pretty cool, so I'm gonna pull it out. I didn't mean to cover up that much of the backing, so I'm actually gonna put another card in there just to see if I can get some different marks. Now they're all kind of the same color. Woo! Maybe rubber balls weren't the best. This is more of what I had in mind. So that's just kind of doing it very few movements and then pulling it out. You could keep going and get this far. Keep going after that. You could let it dry and then add another layer on top. So that is super fun. Highly recommend. Very fun. You could also use like an old pan, that like a sheet pan that you're just gonna throw away if you don't have food tins that are wide enough to accept the Rolodex card. You could put it in a cardboard box. And I'm just gonna take my backing sheet and splash the extra paint on there. Okay, this was way more fun than I had anticipated, so I hope you give it a try. Find a round rolly object and just start going wild. It was really fun. I think I ended up dropping paintballs like 4 or 5 times at least, all over. There's blue paint everywhere. Okay, so I think I do love both of these, but I think I'm just gonna go with the less marks on the background. And then I've got here some blue tones of sari silk, so I'm just gonna see if any of those look good. I do like this one. Just tear a little piece of that. I actually got one of those rag rugs at Five Below and just tore it apart, and this sari silk was inside, and it just makes me so happy. It's kind of a endeavor. You're gonna spend the whole night making a mess, getting it all undone, but it's worth it to have these pretty tatty fibers to play with at your disposal. I think I'm going to put this palette and paintbrushes somewhere like this. Messy hands, happy heart. Yep, that's the one. Messy hands, happy heart. And then the quote on the back, a little nonsense now and then is cherished by the wisest men. I believe that's a line from Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. So I'm gonna get these stuck down. That Gene Wilder version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from the 70s is my favorite things as a child. So that's another thing I could show my daughter. I think my husband and I showed her Charlie and the Chocolate Factory already, the Tim Burton remake, but you can't beat the Gene Wilder version at all. Sorry. It's too perfect. I hear a lot of people were scared by it as children. I guess I could see that. He was a little unhinged in the best possible way. I'm just finding a spot for that second paintbrush there. Oh my gosh, you guys have to try this. It's so much fun. I think I'm gonna get a bigger tin and do full sheets of paper sometime soon. I decided that I needed a few white splatters on my card, and messy, messy hands, happy heart. I hope you've enjoyed spending a little time with me today. If you did, please come back next week. I'd love to have you join me for the Reflective Rolodex challenge. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe and leave me a comment. I love hearing your thoughts, and show us your cards in the Facebook group, Petals and Parchment. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great crafty weekend. Bye!